Hello everyone, I'm Christine Ann Alvarez from Group C, and today I'll discuss Module 4 Editing Communication Materials, specifically the What is Editing section. But before I go into that, here is an overview of the topics that will be covered by our group. We will be discussing what is editing, the copy editor, tools of the editor, some practical edits for editor, and the qualities of a good editor. By the end of this module, you should be able to first discuss the various aspects of a copy that an editor should be concerned about. Second, apply editing skills in some copy editing exercises or even engaging in the discussion forum. And third, discuss the qualities of a good editor. Now that you have an overview of the module, let's get into it. Editing is one of the most crucial steps in producing communication materials. However, this step is often overlooked by some communication practitioners. Some excuses or arguments for this is the lack or being pressed in time. Kumbaga, naipit ka na sa deadline kaya hindi mo na siya napa-edit. Or being confident that the materials that you are working on as a writer or as a researcher or even as a practitioner, you believe that it's already good, no? You're confident na, tama lahat ng nilagay ko dito, malinis yung pagkakagawa ko, kaya skip ko na yung editing part. Pero syempre, skipping this process might lead to embarrassment, to even a more serious repercussions. You may produce work that have misspelled words, grammatical and typographical errors, and in worst cases, your work can have errors in terms of facts, libelous arguments, and even plagiarism. I was reminded of a recent case by Rappler wherein one of their articles was taken down because it has allegedly plagiarized on academic research or journalistic work. While the researcher writer of the said article faced serious consequences, the editor or editors of the article should have been held accountable as well, since they are part of the process before it was published in their website. Unfortunately, only the researcher writer were given corrective measures for the incident. Kayo, sa tingin nyo, dapat ba na-hold accountable din yung editor for this process or yung writer lang since siya yung mainly gumawa ng content? Okay, so that bridges us to the first section of this module, no? Wherein we will deep dive into what is editing. So according to Lucia et al., editing is rewriting or revising manuscript to make it acceptable for public presentation or publication. Kumbaga, nire-refine natin, pinapolish natin yung manuscript or any written work para mas up to the quality siya or standard for public presentation or publication. Kumbaga, kung sa news, yung article na ginagawa mo, newsworthy na ba ito? Uh, is this interesting enough for the public? Ready na ba siya for print and for public presentation? Similar to this definition is how the University of North Carolina or UNC at Chapel Hill and the University of California, Berkeley or UC Berkeley Student Learning Center have defined the word editing. So for UNC, editing is a stage in which a written work is revised for its content, overall structure, paragraph organization, clarity, style, and citations. Meanwhile, UC Berkeley has defined it as the process where it addresses typographical and grammatical issues at the sentence level. It's a one sided hierarchical process where the editor identifies and corrects mistakes, assigning value to the work. The focus is on refining the paper as a final product. So, as you may have observed, there are a few elements in these definitions. tulad ng revision of content, overall structure and paragraph organization, clarity, style, and even yung correction of typographical and grammatical errors. These elements are just some of the things that we should check as editors when we refine a manuscript. And these elements are actually captured depending on what level of editing you are doing. So there are two important levels of editing that an editor should practice. Actually, marami pang levels of editing when we search it up online and even with other references. But for this discussion, we'll focus into these two. So first is the mechanical editing, and the second is the substantive editing. So in mechanical editing, the editor corrects grammatical and typographical errors and make sure na yung writing style ng manuscript or work is consistent. Hence, the editor must ensure that the manuscript follows yung style guide, lalo na sa isang organization. Meron niyang specific tone na kailangan kumbaga i-practice all throughout their manuscripts and works. In this level of editing, nagpo-proofread ka tsaka nagka-copy edit ka na. Check mo lahat yung punctuations, yung capitalization, yung mga spelling, and even yung abbreviation. Tama ba lahat yun? On the other hand, the editor looks at the content of a material and how it is presented in substantive editing. In this kind of editing, we ask ourselves, no, as editors, tama ba and accurate yung information na nakalagay dito sa manuscript? Is it fit for print? Newsworthy ba ito or interesting enough to publish? The editor must make sure na naiintindihan ng intended audience yung content and paano yung pagkakasulat ng manuscript. So, dito mas nagfo-focus tayo sa flow, pag-organize ng thoughts, paano siya maintindihan ng audience natin, and yun, mas naghihimay tayo, no, in terms of the content and the message that we want to communicate with our audiences in this editing. So, in a nutshell, mechanical editing is looking at the small details or at the micro level, while the substantive editing is looking at the big picture or at the macro level. Baga, sa mechanical editing, mechanical, no? Yung mga tiny details, yung nitty-gritty, dyan natin siya ginagawa. Kay substantive editing, yung substance nung ginagawa natin, dyan natin siya tinitingnan. Now that we've discussed what is editing and its levels, I challenge you to practice being an editor. Since it is a skill na kailangan talaga i-practice natin, and of course, yung pagpa-practice, it takes time. No? So I have attached here a press release article that I have written in 2021 para sa isang event ng previous organization ko in preparation sa 2022 national elections. As editors, I challenge you to identify at least one part that needs to be edited for this to be publish ready. I have linked this file on the forum for your reference. So that's it for my presentation. Here are my references. Thank you for listening, and we hope that you enjoy learning this module. I'm looking forward to engaging with you in the discussion forum. Bye.